So I just figured out where all of the hustle material guys are in New York City, and I cannot believe it took me.
Why are men not men anymore?
Am I the only one who does not see the value in dating anymore?
I want to be loved candidly, something you can feel from a photograph.
The level of desperation in women is reaching its peak. They can't find the man they want.
Hi, my name is Celia. I'm going to be 30 in 2 months, and I have never been in a serious relationship.
I'm so fucking tired of dating. I just want someone to come over.
Here's the thing about dating. When it comes to me, I don't need to date you, but show me why I should.
The truth of the matter is, many women yearn that intimacy from men, they're being ignored. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
I'm done with dating apps, so I decided I'm gonna do something so crazy. I'm gonna try to meet someone in real life. I'm gonna start working on looking approachable. I'm gonna go to places alone to then hopefully one day not have to go to those same places alone because I'll have someone to love me forever. Anyway, I'm working on it, so in case my mom's watching, okay, I'm trying, Mom, I'm trying.
So ladies, let's say that you've matched online with a gentleman. You think everything is going really well, and then he ghosts you. What do? Number 1, slash his tires. Number 2, throw eggs at his house. Number 3,
you need help.
It's getting crazy here. Women now want men that might have a raft. Do you have floaties? Do you have a canoe, a paddleboard, anything? We need water rescue men. We're willing to take you in, okay? We need a man that can come rescue us right now.
I would, but I don't make over 100,000 and I'm not 6 feet tall. What happened to choosing the bear? What happened to being independent? I guess some women really do need men when reality hits. They can act strong and put up a facade all they want, but when things get tough, they know exactly who to call. It's easy to say, I don't need a man when everything is going smoothly, but when real challenges come, that attitude changes fast. Suddenly, the same men they didn't want anything to do with are the ones they're turning to for help and support. But really, what do they bring to the raft?
Dating is so hard. Dating is so hard.
I want a love that is safe. I want a love that is gentle. I want a love that is calm. Not perfect, but sweet. A love that uplifts you. A love that cares about your mental. A love that is thoughtful. Like, am I bringing chaos or am I bringing peace? That's the kind of love that I want.
I don't know what's going on or if anybody else could relate, but this generation of men want to be chased so badly. And I'm not about to do it, princess. I swear to you, they're looking for like good morning texts. They want flowers sent to their job. They want date nights planned. Like the last couple of guys that I've been speaking to or spoke to, they wanted me to chase them. And I promise you, you got the wrong one. These guys are in their soft girl era. What is going on?
It's funny how, when a man knows his worth and value, some women are quick to call him sassy or a princess. But really, this is just another shaming tactic they use when they don't get their way. It happens when men stop chasing them, giving them attention, or doing everything they expect. Instead of respecting men for having standards and self-respect, they try to insult them. They're so used to men doing whatever they want that they don't know how to handle it when a man stands his ground. What's crazy is these same women call it confidence when they stand up for themselves. But when a man does it, they act like it's a bad thing. It's a double standard, plain and simple. Men knowing their worth isn't about being sassy or difficult. It's about not letting anyone walk all over them. If that bothers some women, it just shows who's really uncomfortable with equality.
Dating is hard because I do be getting love bombed a lot, and these motherfuckers out here tricking. Because here's the thing. A man comes to me, he says, you're the most amazing, beautiful, incredible, hilarious woman I've ever met. Yes, yes, and yes. Like, honestly, it tracks. And so for me, I'm like, okay, it's just being recognized. So I can't really tell the difference.
Logical explanation at this point is that I've probably already met the love of my life and told him to f***. Okay?
What's so funny? Everyone wants a good man until the good man actually comes along, and then he has boundaries, self-respect for himself, and certain things that he expects from the woman and wants her to do, and certain things he doesn't want her to do. And all of a sudden he goes from being a good man to a narcissistic piece of you-know-what, when actually he's just a good man, and you're either not a good woman or you're just not ready for a good man. Because if you're looking for a good man, you're gonna have to go through some changes in order to be able to be with him. Because he will challenge you to do better.
I agree. They want the good man, but they don't want the good man to hold them accountable for their actions or challenge them to improve themselves. They desire the stability and security he provides, but resist the responsibility and growth that comes with being in a healthy relationship. You have to understand the women who seek good men later on are often the same women who rejected those men earlier in their lives. These men were seen as too nice, boring, or not exciting enough compared to the flashy guys. Now that life has humbled them, these women view good men as a means to an end, a way to secure a safer, more stable lifestyle when they're on their last leg. And all this is happening because they've exhausted their youthful options. It is also when the attention starts to fade and they find themselves alone.
Can someone please explain to me where all the really lovely, like, emotionally available guys are? That would be great, thank you. Because basically, every single person I meet is not looking for a relationship. Nobody approaches you in public. Like, I've been in bars and even I've had to go over, like, it just doesn't happen. Where are they all? Because I'm so sick and tired of meeting people that I like and they're not looking for a relationship, and I'm just like, oh, because I don't know. I'm like, I think maybe I'm ready. I don't know. This is me. If you've followed me for a while, like.
Okay, I have a question for all of the single straight men. What are you doing? Because every single day, I walk out of my front door to the most beautiful, gorgeous, just goddesses of women walking around living their best life like they're just not heaven on earth. So what are you doing? Why are you fumbling the bag? Why are you single? Why are you not just snatching up all of these amazing, beautiful, smart, educated, sexy women? Because they're everywhere I look. Get it together.
Well, if these women were really as amazing as they think they are, they wouldn't be single. The fact is, they're single for a reason. Maybe it's because they walk around acting like they're heaven on earth, expecting the world to revolve around them. That attitude isn't attractive. It's off-putting. Men don't want to chase someone who thinks they're above everyone else or acts like they deserve special treatment without offering anything in return. If a woman truly had that amazing quality, it would show in her actions, her kindness, and the way she treats others, not in the way she demands attention or expects men to cater to her every need. Women who act like they're untouchable or too good for anyone often end up alone because they've built walls that keep people out. They're so focused on their own self-image that they forget the importance of giving and connecting on a deeper level. That is not attractive.
I am too grown for a boyfriend. I'm looking for a husband. I want a husband. I don't need a boyfriend. I don't need another boyfriend. And I don't need to be anybody's girlfriend. I'm a wife. Give me my ring.
Most y'all want these weak ass females. Y'all don't want no fucking alpha woman. Like, I'm not even much of an alpha woman, but y'all be really wanting these lame females, and that's fine. Take them little lame assholes. I don't want your ass anyway.
Stop! Here's the thing about dating. When it comes to me, I don't need to date you, but show me why I should. That is the advice for 2024. Tell me why I should inconvenience my life entering a new relationship. Tell me why. Give me a good reason. That's what I need. That will have me actually committing to people. But if you're not going to give me a good reason, if you're not going to have a good personality and make me laugh a little bit, I'm not inconveniencing myself.
I'm off the apps. I'm deleting them.
Walked out in the middle of the date.
The worst experience of my life.
I'm just so done with dating. My date is over. I'm so shocked right now. It didn't end well. Such a bad date.
If you're feeling like shit about your dating life, or like everyone sucks, or you're making terrible decisions, I do want to remind you that I, at 33 business years old, dated a guy with one leg who ghosted me on the 4th of July.
Why would you tell me you're going to call me when you get home and then you don't call me when you get home?
Dating is hard for some women, but many of them keep chasing the same type of guy over and over again. These are usually men who don't value them, don't want a commitment, or just aren't a good match for what they say they want. Then, when things fall apart, they act shocked and disappointed, as if they couldn't see it coming. Honestly, it makes you want to say, "You're doing this to yourself." Instead of learning from past mistakes, they keep going for guys who might seem exciting or charming but come with obvious red flags. Then they wonder why the same thing keeps happening. Meanwhile, the good guys, the ones who would treat them right, are often ignored or dismissed as boring or too nice. Amazing, huh?
I couldn't. I just wait for the guy to come up to me. But that never happens. So, I mean, what am I doing wrong? Do people actually go up and ask for a guy's number?
I think I wanted to be loved so bad that I was kind of just accepting it from anybody who was willing to give it to me at one point, falling into relationships with people who I kind of knew weren't right for me, but like I was settling for just a little bit of love because I didn't love myself enough, or I didn't feel like I had love like I needed it.
He's not wrong. There's a lot of data on this, and there are more single older women than there are single older men. It's not crystal clear why either. But what results is men, as they get older, their stock rises and rises. Sorry, ladies.
That's correct. Because prime age for women is 20, and for men, it is 40. Lots of women concentrate on their education, career. Once they hit 30, they realize that money or pet does not make them as happy as a family can. It's true, men hit their wall at a later age, and the pool of women they have to pick from is bigger than the ones single mums or older women do. As women age, their dating pool shrinks. As men age, become more successful, their dating pool increases. No mystery. Men and women are on the same planet, but they face vastly different realities. The sooner they realize and accept this, the better their odds are when they're looking to find a husband or build a lasting relationship. Men navigate a world where their value is often tied to their success, status, and ability to provide, while women, for the most part, have the advantage of youth and beauty in their early years. However, this dynamic shifts over time, and many women struggle to adapt to the reality of the wall. The point where their looks and youthful appeal no longer carry the same weight they once did. The wall for women is harsh, but it's a reality they must confront because they often refuse to plan ahead or take accountability for their choices.
No matter how much I love myself, how much I date myself, dating is hard. Dating is exhausting. To constantly put yourself out there to just be disappointed and disappointed and disappointed and nothing to ever work out for you is so mentally, emotionally exhausting. Every time I make a video like this, people always get confused and think that I'm miserable single. That is not true. I'm very happy single. I make content on TikTok for other people to learn how to be happy alone and single. But I'm not going to neglect the fact that I don't want to be single forever. I eventually want to find someone, and to do that I have to date. Dating sucks. To constantly feel like nothing ever works out for you is literally like a mind game, and I'm tired.
I'm done with dating apps, and I've been on a mission to meet a man in real life. I was seeing a couple guys that I met off dating apps. They weren't a match, so we are back at ground zero. I did relapse and download Hinge for like 5 minutes, but it's gone again. And I'm just coming on here to remind you that like most likely the first or second guy you go on a date with is not going to be it. That's just, you know, it's a numbers game at the end of the day. So we're back out there. We're romanticizing life. We're looking approachable. We're saying yes to things. So follow along.
I don't care what anyone says, and we can argue in the comments, but dating right now in 2024 is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. Are you serious? I could probably pass the bar exam right now, and it'll be easier than dating. And I'm so serious.
Maybe you're the problem.
I have to stop dating.
I have to stop dating. I go on one date, and in the next 24 hours, I am thinking about every single little thing that went wrong. And guess what? Nothing went wrong.
Answer to your question is no, of course not.
Perfectly normal, fun date. But in my head, there must be something. I'm searching. Have my abandonment issues gotten so crazy and out of this world that I can't even enjoy a simple first date?
If women are struggling with dating, the common denominator is their unrealistic expectations and lack of self-awareness. And no, women can't enjoy first dates because a first date to them isn't simple. They want to be taken to these 5-star restaurants on the first meetup, like you guys have been married or something. Many women approach dating with a sense of entitlement, expecting grand gestures from men they barely know. Today, it's hard for a man to date modern women because the whole date consists of him trying to hit everything on her checklist. She's judging his appearance, financial status, conversational skills, future potential, and even the choice of venue, all within a few hours. What man really wants to deal with that?
I'm turning 40 this year, and comments like these break my heart. This girl is 25 years old and she thinks that she'll never find anyone. With the way that the world is today, dating is not easy. So you need to really put yourself out there. Get on dating apps, and if you get approached by a lot of guys and it's very uncomfortable, use a dating app like Bumble, because you get to pick who you want to talk to.
Men are useless. Are they now? Well, that's interesting, because if men didn't exist, there wouldn't be individuals out there that had nothing better to do than disparage men, and they would actually have to find something useful to do with their time. But I'm sure there's more to this. So they create problems to feel useful? Speaks the voice of experience. In the same way that they personified God as a man to make themselves feel important. I'm very concerned that a lot of these individuals are going to pull something, because they are definitely not stretching before reaching. They want to perceive themselves as these providers, these protectors. Protecting from who? Who didn't see this one coming a mile away? And can anyone guess what they are going to say next? Oh wait, themselves. And then they want to feel like the hero when they were actually the villain. Ironically, one of the qualifications for a true and actual villain would be an individual that actually makes broad and sweeping generalizations about an entire demographic of people in an effort to try to possibly demonize that group so that their own actions against that group may be somehow excused.
I just love it when women call men useless, yet they're driving cars that men have built, living in homes that men have constructed, and using phones, laptops, and countless other technologies that men have innovated. They have no idea how much men have contributed to their lives to make everything they enjoy easier, safer, and more efficient. From the roads they drive on, to the electricity powering their homes, to the very infrastructure of the society they live in, men have been the backbone of creating and maintaining these conveniences. But men are useless, right?
So I just got dumped. On top of that, I'm on my period. And I'm literally walking around the streets of Nashville at night by myself, being like, try me, come at me. Do any other girls get that way when their life is in shambles?
Can we please just normalize being nervous that you're not going to find your person? Like, I'm fucking nervous. Like, everyone's like, you're 31, you have plenty of time. But yes, have you seen the options? Have you seen the dating pool? Like, the pool is empty. There's no water in the pool. So the fish in there are literally dead. I'm like kind of joking, but like not really. Like, I get it. I'm going to be fine if I don't find my person. Like, I don't want to be fine alone. I want to be fine with a fine man. Like, you know, and I got so much flack for saying I feel nervous because everyone's like, you have so much time. Comment below, because I know I'm not the only one who feels fucking nervous. Like, in this day and age, it's scary.
This woman is a perfect example of waiting too long to start taking dating seriously. For years, she likely prioritized casual flings, career ambitions, or the thrill of chasing men who didn't value her. Now look at her, struggling, panicking to find a man who will take her seriously, struggling to find a man willing to commit to her. She's caught in a cycle of disappointment because the very men she overlooked in her prime are now uninterested or have moved on to women who appreciated them earlier in life. Her struggle isn't just about finding a man, it's about the consequences of her past choices. She probably wanted to live her best life, believing the pool of good men would always be there, waiting. But time doesn't work that way. The harsh reality is that the qualities she thought would secure her a partner, her looks, confidence or independence, aren't enough to outweigh her history of dismissing good men and prioritizing temporary excitement.
Someone please explain to me what is wrong with men nowadays. Like, since when was it the woman's job to message first? Since when was it the woman's job to pay on the first date even though the man was the one that instigated the dating in the first place? I don't mind going halves, but expecting me to be the one that dishes out the payment, the entire payment for the entire bill, that's crazy to me. Since when did men expect the woman to be the chaser and the men to be the one that's just sat receiving, being pretty and not doing nothing? It's not a woman's job to pursue. The whole point of a male is to be a hunter, to hunt for the prize, which is the woman. And I'm not saying the woman needs to bring nothing to the table, but for goodness sake, do something. Like, is it just me that thinks this? Am I losing my mind? My man told me if a woman is not satisfying her man, he will go find satisfaction elsewhere. But how can you expect her to satisfy you when you're doing the bare minimum, if that, to even invest in her and to show her that you like her? And to show her that you're worthy of having her. To expect me to keep chasing you because you've been hurt in the past, so you're taking out your trauma onto me and telling me that I need to show up in places that your ex didn't show up, it does not add up. I've been traumatized too. You're not showing up for me in ways that I expect you to show up. If anything, you're doing way less than what my ex did. And my ex cheated on me. I would rather go back to my ex who cheated on me and give him another opportunity than be sat here trying to chase you, pursue you, and invest all my energy into you because you're draining me. You're literally draining me. You're sitting there telling me how much you like me and how much you see a future with me, but the thing is, I can't do this.
Dear guys, well done. Know your worth and keep up the good work. There is a man willing to do all these things for us, and he's most likely in the friend zone if we are to be really honest with ourselves. Some guys are tired of giving in, they need to be loved. They're the one who pursue earlier on and still get cheated on. Nothing is wrong with us. We are just enjoying our peace. First of all, it's no one's job, but I'll entertain it. It became her job when she wanted equality. Women pushed for equality, and now men are treating them as equals by expecting them to pay on the first date or make the first move. It's only fair, right? Yet, when the roles are reversed, a lot of modern women seem to have a problem with it. It became their job to message first because, when men do, they often get left on read or delivered with no response. Men got tired of putting in effort only to be ignored. Why are modern women so caught up in debating whose job it is to initiate anything, when they're not even the same as the women of the past? Back then, women were kind, nurturing and feminine, qualities that naturally inspired men to step up and take the lead. They brought something to the table that made men want to go out of their way for them. But the women of this generation are lacking that very thing.
I'm so fucking tired of dating, which is fun, and generally I enjoy it. But I am tired of my weeknights being spent getting dressed up. I just want someone to come over and lay on the couch so I can feel someone's body heat. That isn't this guy. He's sick of me too. He's sick of it. They want me home. They want me on the couch. They want a new dad. They want a father. This is a home without a male figure. They're fucking sick of it.
So I've been single coming up to like 3 years now, and sometimes that's really fucking lonely. And although there was like the situationship guy and I've been on like a few dates and stuff, I've not been in anything that even resembles a relationship. That can be really fucking difficult. And even when you've got a life you love and like I've got loads of friends and family and hobbies and interests and passions, sometimes it is really lonely. And you get these people who are like, oh, you'll find it when you're least expecting it. It's like, cool, but when is that going to be? And there is nobody knocking on my door except the postman, and well, he's old and I don't want the postman.
Right. Another one who didn't prioritize dating for the long term, but prioritized situationships. She's the one who chose to invest her time and energy into fleeting connections instead of building something solid and lasting. She's done this to herself, and now she's facing the consequences. This is about pointing out the importance of choice, and she chose the fun instead. This woman has sunk herself into her own loneliness. If she had been dating with the intention of trying to settle down, she would have never been in this predicament. The reality is, long-term relationships require intentionality, compromise, and effort. By choosing situationships, she avoided the vulnerability and dedication that come with real relationships. Now, she's left feeling unfulfilled and overlooked, as the men who were serious about building a life with someone have moved on to partners who shared their values and goals. Her choices weren't just about having fun, they were a statement about what she prioritized.
Number one reason why women cannot find and don't end up with a good man is because they don't eliminate the men that are not suitable for them. They continuously entertain a man that is inconsistent. This is the number one reason why women stay single, why women get smashed, but they don't get wifed. This is the reason why women keep saying they can't find a good man. The reason is because you keep entertaining men that are not into you. Just because you let him hit it does not mean that he's into you. A lot of the times, women look at men and they think, oh, I want a man that looks good because he's just not my type. I deserve so much better. Honey, you've been smashing outside of your range for a long time. The guy that you've been smashing was completely out of your league. And that is exactly why he never wifed you. That is exactly why you have issues finding a good man, because you keep filling your roster with men that are not worthy. So ladies, stop entertaining any man that is inconsistent with you. Consistency is key. If a man wants you, one thing he will do is be consistent.
This is absolutely true. It's harsh, but it's the truth. And when these women are done entertaining the players, they're so quick to say, all men are trash, not realizing that they're the ones who pushed all the good guys away. They spent their time chasing after excitement and validation from the wrong people, thinking it was fun, while ignoring the men who genuinely wanted to build something real with them. But in the end, all they did was waste their time, giving up their best years to men who couldn't care less about them. What's even crazier is that they expect those same nice guys to come back later on in life and play hero when they've hit a wall. After years of rejecting good men for the thrill of bad boys or casual flings, they somehow think that the man they overlooked will be waiting to pick up the pieces when the fun has worn off.
I'm 24, single, live with my cat, sir. And genuinely, I wonder how people my age have a husband and like getting ready to have kids. I feel like if I didn't move after college, I might be married, like thinking about getting married with kids. But I moved to a new state, I knew no one. And now I'm like, every time I go on Hinge or a dating app, I'm like, no. And then I go on a couple dates and then I'm like, no.
Why are men not men anymore? For the past 48 hours, I disassembled a bed, carried it to my car, all the parts, by the way, carried a vanity to my car, loaded it in the car, then drove to the storage unit to help my friend unpack everything, to get it on a gurney, to take the gurney up to the elevator, to take the elevator up to the 4th floor just to get it to a storage unit, and then have to lift it up again and take it back into the motherfucking storage unit just to come back down to my car, just to go 5 minutes away, just to load back everything up in my car again. And you mean to tell me out of the 5 million niggas that I called, and collectively out of me and my friend, that not one of them could come and help me carry a motherfucking fucking mattress.
Genuine question. Why is it that so many women think that they're entitled to a man's labor just because he's a man? It's the same way that y'all think that you're entitled to a relationship after you sleep with a man. Or the way that when you're in a marriage, you think that men are responsible for household labor and whatever bullshit psychology that you want to call it nowadays, even though you agreed by contract to be a stay-at-home mom. But I digress. These men do not owe you shit. Literally none. And where are your fathers to help in moving situations or friends that actually give a shit about you rather than random dudes? But also, women have spent the last decade saying that they don't need a man and men aren't shit and you can do it all by yourself. Y'all got money. You guys are making your own money, so hire a moving company, which by the way is still men. Some of y'all treat men so shitty, but then you still expect them to turn around and be there for you. And that's just not how the world works. And it's a woman's sense of entitlement that makes her think that just because she's friends with a man, that means he owes her his labor. Which also isn't how it works. Because when was the last time these women helped men in any capacity? You get exactly what you give. Y'all chose the bear for months, and this is the consequences of your own actions. But additionally, you don't get to pick and choose when equality best suits you. Y'all wanted equality, so I guess now you gotta figure it out. Okay, bye.
Once again, we are only valued because of the task or money we provide. She's an independent woman, we couldn't help her. It would go against her values. So she called all the men in her friend zone. They figured out what the friend zone is being used. If you've paid attention, you will notice that this woman already answered her own question. But the fact that she called all the men in her phone and no one came to help speaks volumes. But nonetheless, this is what you call selective equality. This woman just expected those men to drop what they were doing to come to her rescue. You can't choose to be independent one day and then choose to be dependent the next. That's not how it works. These types of women seek men when it's convenient, but they don't build the kind of consistent, reciprocal relationships where support goes both ways. It's no wonder none of them came to help her move her mattress. She's probably been treating those men like backup options, relying on them only when it's convenient or when she needs something. But the real question here is, why didn't she call on one of her independent women friends?
There is a lot of tension and friction going on because of election season, but I feel like there is some common ground that conservative women and liberal women can all agree on, and that is that men are in their princess era. Like, more than ever, I'm hearing girls tell me that guys are like expecting them to text first, to reach out to them, to split the bill, to split bills 50-50. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, guys, what's going on? Like, whether you're a liberal woman or a conservative woman or neither, I think we can all agree that dudes really need to get it together. You want a girl to text you first? You want the girl to send you the good morning text? I think you like guys. I think you like guys. There's no way you like girls because you wouldn't be expecting the good morning text, okay? Girls want to feel like princesses. Stop trying to be a princess. Get out of your princess era and stop wearing Van Cleef bracelets, for the love of God.
First off, men are not in their princess era. They're in their soft guy era. This isn't about being weak. It's about setting boundaries, prioritizing their mental health, and demanding fairness in relationships. The bottom line is, men are asking for reciprocation, and women seem to have an issue with it. Men are treating women as equals, as society has long claimed it wants. But the truth is, many women don't like it. They don't want equality in relationships. They want to be put on a pedestal, receiving all the benefits without the responsibilities. Men are no longer willing to play the traditional role of provider and protector for women who don't bring anything meaningful to the table. They're tired of one-sided dynamics where they're expected to invest emotionally, financially, and mentally without any reciprocation. In this soft guy era, men are prioritizing self-respect. They're choosing peace over drama, walking away from relationships that drains them. The crazy thing is, women expect men to be masculine, but they don't expect themselves to be feminine.
Serious question here. Are there men out there who are genuinely really kind, like to do things for you, like to take care of you, without expecting things in return? And by expecting things in return, I don't mean like certain favors or like, I guess expecting like kind of returns. I mean like expecting you not to complain about anything, not to get upset about things, or like, yeah, like not expecting you to act a certain way. Does that exist?
Lots of them, but we do accept reciprocation, and that's when everything falls apart. Yes, as long as you're putting in the same amount of effort. It's a two-way street. We used to, but after being taken advantage of, manipulated, abused, and told we are only good for giving out money, not anymore. There are a lot of them. You just don't want them, because they are not an ATM machine. I recently have come to the realization that many modern women are just looking to be a dependent in a man's life. While the answer is yes, there are men out there who would do all those things, and some who would even go beyond. The problem arises when the energy and gestures aren't reciprocated. Men are human beings as well, and while they're treating somebody right, they also want to be treated right in return. This realization is why so many men today are rethinking their approach to relationships. They're beginning to set boundaries and prioritize their own emotional well-being, refusing to settle for dynamics that feel one-sided or transactional.
Something that I realized that is a big fear of mine is getting in a relationship because there is nothing wrong with the relationship. I had to break up with the guy that I was seeing. We made it to 7 dates and we had the exclusivity conversation, which kind of sparked some real emotions for me. I feel like as a 25-year-old, my timeline is to get married by 30. And so looking for my life partner is kind of a big deal. And I felt like this guy and I didn't get to know each other well enough where I could confidently say like, I want to be exclusive with you. I want to be all in and spend my time and energy getting to know you without anyone else in the picture. Like it was hard because I did like him and I enjoyed my time with him, but I didn't feel confident being completely exclusive to him. I had to have a hard chat with him, basically asking like, can we revisit this exclusivity conversation? Because I don't feel confident yet. And without going into detail, girl, let's just say he did not take that in a way that I thought was respectful. It was kind of met with like insecurity and a little bit of gaslighting, in my opinion. So I had to end things because I didn't feel comfortable with the way he responded to me. I didn't feel respected. It's interesting because y'all know who've been following along that I thought he was like secure, green flag type of guy, which I do think there were a lot of good things, but that experience just showed me that maybe he's not my person, and that's okay.
This is called the grass is greener syndrome. Women often think there's always someone better out there, so they keep looking for something more. But honestly, 7 dates is plenty of time to get to know someone and see if there's a real connection. Sometimes even just 2 dates can tell you a lot. Women know who they like from the first impression, and if she's taking that long to make up her mind, it's a clear sign that she doesn't really like you as much as you think. That man was doing all the right things, investing his time, energy, and effort into someone he thought could lead to something real. But in the end, he doesn't get the relationship he was hoping for. As a man, it's crucial to know when to walk away from a situation where you're being used or taken for granted. You have to recognize when you're giving more than you're receiving and when someone isn't appreciating the effort you're putting in.